Okay, we're gonna try this again. I was trying again earlier, but just doing a second take on live streaming here, waiting for Sergio primarily, Major League Hats. Um, so welcome. It's weird. You commented, but it says you're not here. Oh, I got two people now. Woohoo! And I put on Instagram. It's kind of funny how, I put stuff on Instagram that, hey, I'm doing a live stream at 1:30, and that's like in the morning. I do it, and I get about 9 likes to it, 10 likes, and then when it comes time, I was actually on time, and no one shows up. So that's weird. Um, uh, ESPN notification here. Hong Kong protesters trample and burn LeBron James jersey after the Lakers stars after his comments Monday. So not sure if I'm gonna get into that kind of topic because it's a bit too political, even for me at this point. I mean, I got my own opinions, but maybe some other time we'll get into that, or if enough people here are talking about it. Excuse me. Got a cold going on right here, right now, so not gonna be sounding too good. But just want to do a live stream, kind of take a break from all my recording stuff for the day. Been a little tiring. Um, this morning I was re-recording 2 times for my 8 Men Out movie review, Major League Hits. I know we were chatting about that last night. Did you get a chance to watch it? 8 Men Out. You said you had it on DVD and you're gonna keep me honest somehow, so I'm wondering what you mean by honest. Um, so I've been kind of rewatching it on Premiere Pro so I can take a few quotes out so I can put it in a trailer for later on. Um, so yeah, it's a decent movie, but of course, once you realize some of the history behind it, it might not turn out the way you were expecting it to, or you might not have as much appreciation for it, considering the actual history behind it. Um, let's see. And then I was going to record, that was this morning. This afternoon, I was going to record my history talk for, Black Sox scandal. 100 years later, 100 years later. I mean, because 1919 was when they threw away the World Series, but it is 1921. Give me a second. Who goes there? Give me a second. Hold on. Hello? Yeah, I was doing a YouTube live stream and you totally interrupted me. I'm getting all these millions of viewers here, and the phone rings, and if I'm going to lose subs. Right. When I get a better paying job, I for sure will do so. Right now, I'm not in the best financial situation. I have an uncle, and then my godfather is a firefighter full time. So the volunteer firefighters, anyone who takes up that kind of initiative to risk their lives, want to support. So when I do get the chance financially too, I will. I wrote myself a note down to bookmark it for later. Target outreach program. So I will definitely do that when I can. Okay. Again, when I have enough money and not, when I have enough money because I have to worry about but okay. Yeah, yeah. I wrote down the name here, Target Outreach Program, and I will be um looking into that for a donation. I'll think about it. Okay, volunteer firefighter. I mean, okay, so that was only on live stream, like Major League Cat said. So if you're watching the replay, it's kind of funny here. Ranting a bit, but the guy was talking about volunteer firefighters and donating and like when I can, I totally will. But at this point, I'm not. You picked up for a. Well, I wanted to see, how he would react, and him talking about the firefighters. Like I said, my uncle and my godfather, they're firefighters. So I will donate eventually, but not at the moment, because I'm poor and yeah. Anyways, so let's get on to. I'm sure I lost a few people there. Anyways, talking about my filming for today. That maybe I'll keep it on, you know, the ringing that, I can't take it a call in, like, the phone off the hook, off the line. I know that kind of reference. Um, Filming this morning about 8 Men Out movie, Major League Cats. Did you watch the movie last night, like you said? Because you said you're going to keep me honest. So I wanted to know what you meant by that. Um, I'm going to have to do quite a bit of editing for that to keep the review down. I'm going to try to do under 20 minutes. Um, oh, jeez. Okay, I'm not going to do that. All right. So I did filming for that this morning. Gonna try to do my best for editing to keep things down under 20 minutes. I know that seemed a lot, but I talk a lot in the video, and I could have talked even longer, to be honest, because when I originally recorded, um, it was in two parts, and in total, my movie review would have been almost 25 to 30 minutes. So, yeah, that was too long. That would have been too long. So I cut it down a bit, and I'll cut it down with editing too, because I couldn't figure out some of the words to produce. So we'll see how that goes. And then this afternoon, I was trying to do some filming for my history talk. I was going to uh, use some green screen filming here. Okay, well, you mentioned it before, so just catching up. So I have so this is my green screen that I've been trying to use. It's a empty, it's a pink um, bed sheet, and it's blank, and it's pretty good. It's a good neon contrasting color to my skin tone, and I figured, okay, so that's why I'm going to use it, and it'll save me a few bucks from buying a green screen. Now I have gone before to Joanne Fabrics, and I bought material. I have this little sliver. of the bigger piece of cloth that I used for some green screen effects. Excuse me. When um, if you remember, I cut my head off in one of my videos when I did a unboxing. I cut my head off, and okay, well, I'll get to blue in a moment. So, and I also have this color with me. It's a lighter green, more of a lime green, almost yellow, really. And so I had like a piece of cloth wrapped around my neck to chroma key this to blend into the background of the green screen that was behind me. I had a bigger piece, and then it was easier to mask the rest of my body out just to keep the head, and I did my acting behind the rest of the green screen. And the reason why we use green screens for those kind of special effects is you, I mean, the light doesn't help here, but you can't trace any, hues or pigments or any color trace of green into your skin color. Um, the furthest thing from. So that's why green screen and sometimes blue, a certain shade of blue, is used for green screening. And I figured, okay, well, I'm going to lose a little bit of, facial saturation with this pink sheet, but, it'll be the same idea. Well, I was doing some tests in the garage, didn't work out. Did some tests in the family room, and it turns out that my lip color is too similar to the pink. So my lips would have blended into whatever background I was going to be using for the video session. So scrapping that idea, and I'm going to be just sitting in my chair and recording like I usually would. One of these days, I'll buy a nice green screen, maybe get it with nice clamps and nice stand to go along with it. Because I've watched all these YouTube videos on how to, not only set up a green screen properly, because a lot of people set it up wrong, and I've set it up wrong before, but how to use the Ultra key and Chroma key just the right way in your editing. So I wanted to use that kind of special effect, stand out in my videos compared to other guys. I know Trends Unlimited uses the green screen, but he just has like a singular background, so it's kind of not as cool if you're just using the one background. If you're using multiple backgrounds, if you're using green screen for like a cool effect, special effect, then that really stands out. Yes. Yeah. My production studio, Hatter Studios, is hemorrhaging a lot of money. So one of these days we will have a better sufficient budget to better produce videos for the class and all the viewers out there. So that is kind of my problem with the green screen effect. I mean, I could like I'm just gonna eventually sometime later go on Amazon or eBay and buy a nice green screen um, set kit. Um, so that stuff will be coming out soon-ish. I need to work on editing, of course, because that's gonna take a long time. Actually, Billy is working for free technically, so I'm already saving on costs that way. Um, and it's just the income that needs to change primarily. I'm trying to get somewhere with Best Buy, but gotta wait for background checks to clear through. And Impact never got back to me, so it's kind of unfortunate. Really wanted to work for them, but they haven't responded, and just been a bit of a downer. Really wanted to work for them. Um, then not gonna go into that that I'm not gonna take that bait because it's gonna go into a different conversation and back and forth that I don't want to get into right now at this point. Anyways, um, so speaking of baseball here, got my White Sox hat on. Nationals had a pretty good night last night. 7 of their 8 runs were scored when there were 2 outs in the inning. That is really good. That is really impressive. Now, is it because the National bats are hot and they're good, or is it because the Cardinals can't pitch and can't field for worth a darn? I mean, it really seemed like direction. Um, it really seemed like Azuna couldn't catch anything in the outfield there. I saw a replay, and then I saw third baseman try to dive out for his third out, but ground fly out or something like that, and then he just missed it, but like just a bit. Here's his mitt, and here's the ball, and it just missed him, but still, it's like you guys are the Cardinals. You guys are pretty good. You guys are here for a reason. You guys won the division for a reason. So you guys should be playing a little bit better. I'm making the joke that the Cardinals have used up all their runs in the postseason. They scored 10 runs that one inning during Game 5 of the NLDS against the Braves. And then they scored 3 more runs throughout the game. And that was it. They're done for the series. They're done for the postseason. They're done hitting and scoring. So that's what they have going on. And Killed. Yeah, it's kind of expected a little bit more in a way. Um, kind of in a way hoping for a sweep. But I think it was one of the analysts on ESPN this morning was saying that maybe a sweep, not sweeping and losing tonight, is an okay thing because Yankees and Astros is bound to go 6 games probably the way these teams are playing and how high caliber they are, the 2 top teams in baseball right now. So if Nationals sweep tonight, then they're waiting around almost a week to play the next game, and that time off might affect them. They might have too much rest. Do I believe in that kind of superstition? Not entirely, but there is a little bit of merit to that argument, especially the analyst was Mark Teixeira, having a background with baseball and kind of knowing the mentality of a baseball player. So I can understand that having too much time off might be an issue. But part of the game I did watch, 8th inning with Fernando Rodney, lights out, fantastic, 3 strikeouts, or at least 2 that I saw. I think the first one was a strikeout, but Rodney was really good, and really impressed with him still having his stuff. He played for the Cubs in 2015. We got him in a trade, and yeah, I thought he did really well, back to form. So then we have Game 3 tonight in the Bronx, Yankees and Astros, and the game is going to be hard to predict because the first game was kind of a blowout, and then the second game was really close. It went to extra innings. And then you have Garrett Cole on the mound tonight, so that's pretty huge. That's big. He's been having a really good postseason, regular season too, but postseason he's been catching more fire and really been on a huge hot streak. So the question is, how much do they have left? Are they going to burn out? Are they going to keep flaming up, or what's going to happen? I'm going to say the Astros win tonight with Garrett Cole on the mound. I think that's a huge help. I don't remember who's starting for the Yankees, actually. Let me look that up here. Okay. And Severino will start for the Yankees. So actually, that's a really the toss up there. I could see Yankees winning because of home field advantage, and then the Astros winning because of um, Garrett Cole being on fire and being such a good off season postseason pitcher. Excuse me. I was gonna go see the Joker movie this afternoon, but I figured I wouldn't want to share my cold with everyone else in the theater. I mean, it's been out for over a weekend now, but I'm sure people would be there, and that'd be kind of a nuisance. Because I wanted to go on $5 Ticket Tuesday, um, but I'll have to wait probably next week for that. Um, ew, why? Um, then hockey has been pretty good here. Well, Blackhawks won their first game yesterday against the Oilers, and I have a hat out. It's over here. I had this one out. Um, they they beat Edmonton Oilers last night. It was their first win of the season, and it was the first loss of the season for the Oilers. And was really surprised so far. Again, it's still early in the season. Um, this is early in the season. We've barely played. No team has played 10 games yet of 82. So it's still early in the season, but so far, Sharks suck. Um, I haven't paid attention to the Sharks games, but they do have a bad record. So do the Hawks. So that doesn't help a lot. Um, but so far, Oilers have been sticking out. Um, Nugent Hopkins, Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, of course, and James Neal have all been uh, big players who have turned out huge for scoring goals for the team. I have Draisaitl, Nugent Hopkins, and James Neal. Of those like big four guys, I have three of them. Excuse me. I'm missing McDavid, but I'm not gonna try to trade for him because I'm sure I have to give up um, either McKinnon because I don't want to, or one of those Oiler guys to get McDavid. Um, so let me look at some of the fantasy hockey here because right now I'm winning 33-5 against Team Massini, Phil's team. And let me get back to that. I did officially win my second game of the fantasy football season, so I think that's huge. Let's see here. Yesterday McKinnon got me 5, Draisaitl got me 3 points, Hopkins got me 3 points. Um, I really, if you watch the game, Oilers and Hawks last night, um, Andrew Shaw is pretty much one of the last enforcers of um of hockey right now. And he had a really good hit on one of the Oilers last night, and I'm thinking, can I get a fancy point for that? Because that was a really good hit. Shaw just kind of lunged into him a bit, the Oiler player, and the Oiler guy fell on the ice. He was shook up, and it was like, yeah, I feel like big hits like that should get people fancy points. Um, well, one, you have to tell me which hat you want, and two, it will come to you soon-ish. Um, I for finishing off with hockey here and then I'll go to football. Um, so let's see here. Major League Hats, you have 26 points from day one of week 3, matchup 3 for hockey here. You had Ovechkin get you 5 points yesterday. That's pretty good. Yandel got you 3 points. And you left no points on the bench. That's pretty key. Leaving points on the bench. I think everyone always thinks about that, but that's a huge thing. It's not so much about what the players on the field are doing for me, but how much did I lose from the bench? That's what concerns me a bit. And Florida Bandits, I think that's a Florida Reds fan. He left 6 points on the bench last night in your matchup, so I think that's a big loss for him and gain for you. Um, so yeah. Um, Vegas is doing really well right now, and Carolina is doing really well. They're kind of right now in the top 5 of the power rankings for hockey right now. And let me just quickly look up some of the standings here. I know Boston is also pretty good right now. They're highly ranked, and Avalanche are also up there. They are the only undefeated team remaining. And I think that helps a lot because of Nathan McKinnon, my first pick in the draft. I thought that was a pretty good pick, to be honest. Some people didn't, but that's okay. Because if they disagreed with that kind of pick or thought differently, then they were wrong. They don't know much about hockey then. Oh, Sabres are also off to a good start. Pretty surprising. They're 5-0-1 with 11 points. Maple Leafs had a really good start, and now they've kind of teetered off. Kind of unfortunate. Blues are at a decent start. And Ducks are also at a good start, too. They're 4-2. Interesting. We'll see how the rest works out with all of that. When the next Hawks and Vegas game are, I have the schedules here. Let's see. Today's the 15th. Golden Knights play Nashville, and then Hawks won't play until. Oh, that's the wrong schedule. That's last year's schedule. Damn it. I don't know when the Blackhawks will play next. So Vegas will be tonight, and then when do the Hawks play next? That's gonna be exciting to go to Honda Center for Anaheim game. Oh yeah, I have a Vegas schedule here. I also have printed out a Fighting Illini volleyball schedule just to keep track of that stuff. Excuse me. Illinois doesn't play in. Illinois is on the road for a bit. They'll play next at Wisconsin Friday, and then the next day they go up to Minnesota, the southern peninsula of Canada. Well, if you don't have a schedule, maybe you need to get one to know. I mean, granted, that's also a 162 game season, and it's a little bit longer to keep track of. But I mean, I'll print out a Jazz schedule when it comes out and a bowl schedule. So, yeah, I think it'll be good to keep a schedule going. Hawks play next on Friday, it looks like. Yeah, I guess the Blue Jackets. I'm not psycho either. Why the schedule psycho? I think it's good to keep track of when a team is playing that you like. When does okay, November 13th, Vegas hosts Chicago, and then when are they at Chicago? That'd be a good game to go to. So, oh, the 22nd, they're at Chicago. I probably will not get to that game, but well, I mean, I am a Hawks fan and a Golden Knights fan, but especially this time of year, I when the Hawks play the Knights, I want the Hawks to win by at least 7 goals. And not always does it work out. Like last year when I went in late November, when I was supposed to go to that game in a different occasion, different person. Vegas won 8-1, and one of the goals was an own goal by the Hawks. So yeah, and then the other time Chicago hosted Vegas was in January, and Vegas won in overtime. I was pretty upset about that. So, but yeah, whenever these two teams aren't playing, I root for them independently. But when these two play each other, it's always the Hawks that I root for. So let's get into football here. So let me put on. Actually, no. Because someone told me I couldn't wear this hat, I'm going to anyways. My Broncos hat. Um, I had a pretty decent day with the Broncos for defense. Let me check the scores. New poll question. Oh, it's not crazy. Trust me, it's not all that crazy. Let's see. I'm trying to match up. Trying to go to last week's matchup here. Oh wait, scorecard. Cause I beat Peter last week in fantasy football, so I'm going to get your fantasy football here. Broncos got me 20 points on defense, pretty good. They had a shutout against the Titans, and Emmanuel Sanders got me 0 points. Kind of unfortunate, but knowing the background, I would have preferred him over Brandon Cooks for the Rams. And yeah, Brandon Cooks is not turning out to be a good fit wide receiver for the team, so I'll be trying to replace him somehow. So yeah, I beat Peter 129 to 106. And what kind of difference is that? And Peter left a lot of points on the bench, which really hurt him. So I beat Peter by 23 points, and Alshon Jeffrey got him 13 points. So I mean, it wouldn't have been, wouldn't have made a difference, but a lot of points he left on the bench for wide receiver. Kyler Murray got me more points than Carson Wentz. Kind of surprising. Carlos Hyde and Miles Sanders had a good game. Will Fuller really took a nosedive from last week, having almost 40 points that I left on the bench. That could have helped me win the game, but I didn't. It didn't help. Only got 4 points this past weekend. The Bears are back at it this upcoming weekend. They had an off week, and I now that you're talking about it, I should have printed out a Bears schedule. That's really I think that's unfortunate of me that I should have printed out a Bears schedule. Oh, they play the Saints this upcoming Sunday. I'm listening in the background here. The Broncos. What are you talking about, J38? What are you, one of those like one? I'm on this AFC West trash talk page, and these guys, the Broncos, are always referred to as like donkeys. And I swear, Raiders fans make the worst trash talk memes. Like some of them don't make sense, and some of them are like, You really stretched it out to make that kind of point. So yeah, these are the Broncos, not the Doncos. Come on, get your names right here, man. Um, so the what else do we have here with football? Not too much else. I'm gonna be shutting down the video here soonish because throat's getting a little dry, so maybe I should stop talking for a bit before I, take a bit of a break and then get back to recording some stuff later on. Maybe go for a nice walk. A little brisk outside. Yesterday was a really good day for Chicago weather, Chicagoland area weather. Even with the cold, it helped. Let's see here. What hat do I want to wear now? Always changing hats. I kind of want to get a Bills hat. But it's not a priority for me to get. Um, Not like a top priority at this moment, but I would want a Bills hat, um, for off the field reasons. Primarily to get a Bills hat for some possible favoritism in some aspect, but that'll be developing for another time. Let me put on my Concordia hat here. Um, which for the Bills hat, um, um, for the Bills, I don't know, probably doesn't really matter. Probably if I can find a good price for it, but I probably get one of the newer ones to be honest. And actually going back with the Broncos, I do need to get a retro D logo hat for the Broncos. So that's another hat I need to get eventually. But yes, Major League Hats is right. I'm looking at two more Cubs hats, and I got it for a cheaper price than originally marked on eBay. So huzzah! And that'll be really cool to get. A 20, I want to say 17, I think 2017 Independence Day baseball hat. Excuse me. And then a that's a 5950, and then the other hat is a 2016 or 17. I think it's a 2016 Cubs 3930 uh hat. So I'll show it some other time. Actually, I have it up. Took a screenshot for Sergio. So let me pull it up. So this is what they look like. Um, so yeah, the Independence Day hat, it's not this past year's or last year's. It might have been 2017. And then this hat, I actually want to say that that's 2017. But correct me if I'm wrong. Tennessee Smoky. Oh yeah, those are good. Smokies and Pelicans are part of um Smokies and Pelicans are part of the um wait, yeah, part of the Cubs farm system. So those are good hats to get. So um yeah, those are cool hats to they'll be getting off eBay. So they'll be I'll be coming up soonish then. So I'm just kind of thinking in my head here, anything else to include. Um I did want to mention one thing here. So I want to show you, and I've talked about this before, um, kind of in a way. So I have certain hats. So my foundation for collecting hats is hats that have meaning to me, based off of person, an event in my life, something like an object or a place that's important to me. Peoria Chiefs. I also want to get Peoria Chiefs hat. Um, Peoria Chiefs because um, like I said in the beginning of this video, Uncle and Godfather are firefighters, so that's a cool hat to have. So again, the foundation of hats collecting for me is hats that are important to me based off of something in my life. And this hat is a University of Chicago law school hat, and I had gotten this before because it seemed like an okay hat, but I primarily got it because this one girl I had interest in from college. Her and I were going out for a little bit, and she had wanted to go to um, law school after her undergraduate degree, and she, was talking about, going in the West or going out for Stanford or going out east to MIT or Georgetown. Um, and or he wanted to stay in the Midwest for University of Chicago or um, Northwestern. So I'd figured, I bought this hat over the summer so summer of 2018. I bought this hat off of eBay, and I kind of forget how much I paid for it. I want to say I paid $15 for it, maybe a little bit more than that, but I primarily wanted to wear it. When we would be out on dates, wear this hat and kind of, drop the subtle hints of, oh, you're wearing a University of Chicago hat, kind of like hint, hint, stay here in the Midwest with me. But and I wore this hat last year, October 14th. She was in a play, theater production, and wore this hat to that, and that was the last time I saw her in person until things kind of went awry with both of us, and um, everything ended. So hats are important to me. I can remember, you know, my bow ties are important. I can remember, what I'd be wearing that bow tie for certain events for, how I remembered it, and if it's like scarred for me. Um, Flames hat. What are you talking about? What Flames hat? So, these kind of objects I have, have meaning to me for certain events. But and I got this because of her. But because we're not together or even in contact anymore, this I dropped this hat from my collection, and it's kind of pointless to have anymore. So I really don't know why I still have it. Um, Not UIC, the um the higher, like the Harvard of the Midwest, University of Chicago. You're thinking of UIC. This is U of C. But really, I don't know why I keep on this hat. It's kind of I mean, I'm a historian, so thinking about the past is always my thing. But hat really has no meaning to me anymore. I meant to throw that out the window. Didn't work so well. But kind of explain that kind of history with my hats there. Wanted to divulge and talk a little bit and all that good stuff. Um, just kind of ranting here a bit while everyone barely listens, but that's okay. Trying to keep some sanity going here. So it'll be a fun week coming up. I'm going down to ISU this upcoming Saturday. Story time with Tatter. Um, Actually, wait, because I was mentioning before, um, with that same girl, I wore this hat, this nice blue fedora, on our first nice dinner date. Wore this with a blue blue plaid shirt and a green emerald bow tie. and a kind of a khaki jacket. So that's what Iowa State. I do have an Iowa State hat for my friend Andrew. So yeah, that's story time with more hats. I do have an Iowa State hat. Give me a second. Give me a second. I know it's here. So I do have an Iowa State hat. Um, no, I don't have Indiana State. Psycho, you betcha. Um, and yeah, I have an Iowa State cap primarily from my friend Andrew that I knew from Concordia. He lived out in a suburb of Ames, so he was a big Cyclones fan. So I got a hat, because it was kind of a big deal for him. So I wanted to get a hat for that reason as well. So yeah, maybe I'll do a video some other day about all my college hats. I think that'd be fun to do. And I have plenty more college hats to get. A nicer, or probably get a 5950 U of I hat. Get a few more ISU hats. Get a Chief Illini Wick U of I hat. Maybe another Michigan State or Northwestern hat. Looking at the collection here, a Harvard hat would be nice. A No, I don't have a G League hat. Um, Georgia would be nice to get. Bulldogs. Um, Update some Arkansas hats. LSU. Oregon maybe. Maybe Minnesota hats. We'll see. So, college hats I like to collect. I just like that kind of stuff. I think that's just about it with and UIS. It's the Windy City Bulls, actually. That's the G League team. So I do know some of that stuff, but otherwise I don't know much else. Oh, yeah. I was trying to think of something else. Yeah, and if you ask me any other G League teams, I think I can remember the Tulsa 66 team, 66ers, but I don't remember too many other teams from the G League. Um, Actually, I'm going to quickly look up right now while I'm on the stream here while we're talking about basketball. Um, the Washington Mystic won the WNBA championship last week. Forgot to mention that. That was huge because of Elena Deladon finally getting a championship. Really deserving player. She is one of the best in the league. Maybe the play of the game of WNBA, but play in WNBA, but that's maybe stretching it. I have a little bit of a bias with her because she used to play for the Chicago Sky, but she got traded, I think in 2016, and that's because she wanted to be closer to her family. Okay, it's not entirely up. She wanted to be closer to her family because of her sister having some special medical needs, and I want to move to DC for those reasons. So, which I respect her for that, and glad she won MVP one time with us, Vipers. Um, yeah, Elena Deldine is pretty good looking. Pretty tall glass of water, as my my dad would say. Yeah, she's pretty attractive. Um, But I mean, she is a really good player. She won an MVP title in 2015 with the Sky, and then she won MVP this past year with the Mystics. And I had said at the beginning of the season that because Brianna Stewart, another top tier player of the WNBA, 6'8", was injured because she tore her ACL in a off-season uh, matchup in Russia. She was out for the season, and the Storm probably wouldn't repeat without Stewart. So field was kind of open for the Mystics to be led by Elena Deladon to make a run for the finals. So pretty much Elena Deladon and Brianna Stewart are kind of like LeBron James and maybe like Steph Curry, you could say, the top two players of the league. 98 subs. Yeah, whatever. I hit the 100 mark already, so I've hit it, so I think I'm good there. Um, so hopefully the Sky will return next year. Katie Lou Samuelson, the first round pick for the Sky this past season, went out early as a rookie with a ACL injury. So she would have really helped bring the Sky further into the playoffs. Probably would have gotten us our first round bye, maybe the second round bye even. And the Aces from Las Vegas are also really good as a team collectively. So no, LA Comic Con. No, the only Funko Pop that I have, maybe I've shown you before, is my Patrick Kane Funko Pop, and that's the only thing I have. So, starter's getting really dry here. So I'm going to end it unless anyone else has anything left to add. Arena hats. No, I don't have any arena hats. um, Speaking of arena, though, I would like to find a Chicago Shamrocks hat. They were the indoor league team of Chicago for lacrosse for the NLL about 10 years ago or so. I was in middle school. I went to a few games in Hoffman Estates, suburb of Chicago, in the Sears Center. Went to a few of their games. It was really cool to be there. I like the colors, green primarily, and then orange for Irish Shamrock. But they folded. But it'd be cool to find a hat for the Shamrocks eventually. That'd be a pretty good treasure to find. Um, so yeah. So thank you all for watching. Hopefully I can have about a video or two at the end of the week coming out. And this weekend I'm going down to ISU for band competition. I tried recording Friday night at a football game. The wind was just too much for my headphone mic to really pick up, and it was not a good sound. And there were obnoxious football fans there. They were talking throughout the game, throughout the halftime. So some of that was picked up. So maybe Thursday night during rehearsal, I'll videotape it for Major League Hats because I know that's on his queue list to watch. And then ISU is the big state invitational tournament to kind of crown the winner of the state for the year. So that'll be fun to go to. Big tradition for PMK to go down there for. Yeah, thank you very much for watching, everyone. And hats off to you as always. Have a good day. See you next. Oh, I wanted to mention one more thing. I have it out here. One more thing. One more thing. Just quickly. I eventually found a nicer tub to fit all my Cubs hats in for the off season. This was originally housing my my dad's NES console from the 80s, but then I figured that this one I tested out had better height, so I took the hats, my Cubs hats from the old bin out, put into this one with a nice latch and higher crate size, box size, and I put the old NES in the old box. So, hat on the side, should have mentioned it. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone, and see you next time ish. Bye.